I have clarification for Minister Josephine Teo and one for Minister Indranee. Minister Teo earlier talked about the use of NRIC numbers or information as authentication, and she drew the distinction between the use of the number itself versus, say, the production of the NRIC card, which you said could be used for authentication because it contains more information. I'd like her view on how this would apply to the digital NRIC that is in our Singpass, because most people don't carry the physical card around anymore. And I mean, I found from personal experience that going to the bank, they still want me to produce the physical card. So I'd like her opinion on whether she thinks this distinction between the physical card and the digital IC in Singpass is a logical and well-founded distinction. So should actually the digital IC be taken as acceptable for authentication purposes? I'd like her view on that. For Minister Indranee, earlier she touched on this MDDI circular minute that we all here has been misunderstood by Acra. And she mentioned that Acra actually sought a clarification from MDDI. What was the nature of the clarification, and was there any reply from MDDI to Acra's clarification? And related to that, there is intense interest in the public on the circular. So I'm just wondering whether she would agree that for the review panel, at least, when they put up their report, that this minute could be made public so that people can form their own judgment on how this misunderstanding could have occurred.
Mr. Speaker, firstly, Ms. Lim, congratulations on your recent nuptials. You must have used your full NRIC number at the registry. Singpass too. Ms. Lim asked a very relevant question. Does the digital NRIC card suffice as an authenticator? If you open up your Singpass app and you tap on your digital NRIC card, you will see your photograph, and therefore containing this information allows the digital ID card to be matched against the person holding the device that shows this digital NRIC. In fact, we have said quite clearly that the production of this digital NRIC, digital NRIC card, digital NRIC is the same as producing the physical NRIC card. So I think that part is quite clear. And I think, so it would be acceptable as an authenticator. I could just put it across that way.
I thank Ms. Lim for her question, and I can understand the curiosity. First, I think let me deal with the issue of when Acra sought clarification, whether there was a response. There was a response, and I understand that the communications continued for a while. The reason why I'm not saying more about this is so that the review panel can look at it in detail, because as Ms. Lim would appreciate, and I think indeed almost anybody who's done an investigation, people when they communicate with each other, whether it be verbally or in writing, don't do it in nice, complete sentences that flow on nicely. There will be short phrases. There will be you sort of you make a guess at what the other, or you assume what somebody else is saying. You use a short phrase, right? So all of that has to be pieced together in a review, the full picture put together, and then you get an understanding of what happens. So suffice to say, as I have summarized in my ministerial statement, they did talk. It's not that they didn't talk, because Acra did have some concerns. But what is very clear is that there was not a clear understanding of the policy intent, and in some cases it really was a lapse of coordination. And that's as much as I can say at this point. On the second point of whether the document, the minutes should be released or not, that I will let the panel decide. But the general principle is for government documents, you normally don't release the government documents. What does happen sometimes is the relevant extract or the relevant portion does get cited. And at least for these purposes, in my statement, the most material part is what I have said was in the minute, which was the words to cease the use of the partial masked NRIC. So that is really the most relevant part of that document. And that is what led to the incident in question.